Welcome to PC Woods Kids Tech Talk. Today I'm excited to show you the MSI P55-GD85 motherboard. This is a brand new motherboard similar to the GD80 that I reviewed not too long ago, but it has some new technologies and features that it supports. So not only does it have the Overclocking Genie and some pre-built-in overclocking tools and utilities, but it supports of course all the latest CPUs, and it has USB 3.0 and SATA 3.0 support. So let's take a closer look at this board and all its features. So obviously it's going to support Crossfire and SLI and Windows 7, but it also supports the Core i3s, Core i5s, and Core i7s. I'm going to be installing halfway through here the brand new Core i5-661, okay, which is clocked at 3.3 gigahertz by default. So here are all the features of the motherboard, okay. DDR3, you can overclock it all the way up to that, and here 16 GB max, of course. All the PCI slots that you would need, and of course the SATA 3 support and the USB 3.0 support. They're the two ports at the rear that it says. And of course we've got 8-channel audio, coax, optical, all the good stuff that you would need at the rear of the board. Now look at that, you've got great components, high quality capacitors, you've got the Dr. MOS, you've got high quality MOSFET and efficiency happening on this board, as you would expect from the GD series of motherboards. High quality. I even like the color scheme, the dark on blue here. Here are the slots for the PCI Express, PCI, and of course underneath here where all the headers are for the USB, your audio, and of course on the right hand side is where some of the overclocking happens, and that's the Overclocking Genie button. So when your PC's powered off, you press that, you turn it back on, and basically in 1 second it automatically overclocks your system. Here is where the USB 3.0 is marked on the board. Nice. Okay, I don't have any USB 3.0 devices yet, but I will test it out as soon as I get one. SATA, 6 GB per second on the SATA, so that's basically double of what's offered today. Awesome. And here are the slots for the DDR3, blue and black, color coordinated there. So obviously we pair up our dual channel memory in there. And of course this nice V-check, so if you're overclocking, you have a multimeter and you want to check the voltages, you can do that. And there are the SATA connectors, including the two white ones, which are the SATA 3.0 ones. And here's the rear of the board with all the different outputs that I mentioned a second ago, ready to go. You can't miss anything. You've got feature packed on this board. Here's my test system, latest components, top-notch quality, including an SSD drive, which is what I'm installing and running Windows 7 on. And I love the MSI software, okay? If you're looking for a motherboard with lots of software so you can control and see things, MSI does a really good job. The control center shows you the CPU, all the details, and of course it tells you even how to tweak it, gives you all the options to tweak it, and also it gives you memory information, okay? So basically very similar to CPU Z, which I've used in many of my videos reviewing hardware, but here is the tweaking that you can do on the fly as well within this utility. And it has already predefined setups as well, which you can use depending on what you're doing on the machine. And then advanced, of course. Now I've went into the advanced and I've done my tweaking, and that's how I got to 4.3 gigahertz. Obviously the CPU is rated at 3.3 gigahertz. That shows you how good this board is for overclocking, that I can get it stable at 30 degrees Celsius on idle, running at 4.3 gigahertz. So wow, terrific board for overclocking this latest Intel CPU for sure. And we'll review more about the CPU in a separate video. But looking more at the efficiency of this board, you can see basically 13% watts is what I'm using only on that CPU. Very efficient, and power saving is what we're talking about here. And you can monitor all the fans and control everything, including your temperature readings, of course. And I have additional tools to check on the temperature and verify that at the same time. But running this on full load, 48 watts is what the MSI Control Center is telling me it's using. Again, keeping good efficiency on that CPU and the system. Now, there are different ways of overclocking. Like I said, you can enable the turbo in the BIOS if you want and let it do its thing. And as you can see here, you can get some decent results. It can overclock easily to 4 gigahertz using the pre-built-in features that the board has to offer. Right now, you can use direct base overclocking, which is again through software, through installing the utility that it comes with, you can press the control and page up and page down key, and it will increase the base clock. So see how I have the base clock to 166? I'm pressing it now and it's increasing it to 168. And if I keep increasing that, look at my core speed, 4.3 gigahertz already. It's going to go up to 4.4 gigahertz now as I increase that base clock. Okay, so this is like on the fly overclocking using that direct feature. Okay, so of course I'm going to decrease it back to 166 because that's the stable value that I attained, and of course I want the voltages low, and I'm trying to keep it below 1.3 volts. Okay, for this type of CPU, and I'm trying to keep it cool as well. So using the overclocking Genie though, like I mentioned, if you just turn it on after you press that button, 1.376 volts, a bit higher than what I would like, but it did achieve, like I said, 4.1 gigahertz, and that's what the system, the Overclocking Genie, set up. Okay, so those are the results that you can get. If you don't want to tinker and do anything or touch the BIOS, just press that Overclocking Genie and voila, you got 4.1 gigahertz out of this 3.3, and those are the temperatures. So very good results there for all kinds of overclocking. Overall, by overclocking it to 4.3 gigahertz, I got the same CPU score as my Intel Core i5-750. However, in the PC Mark results, the PC Mark Vantage, I got almost double results in performance on this board with this CPU. Now, the kit, the package is very complete with all the manuals that you would need, all the different types of connections here for your SATA, of course, and IDE. You've got the bracket for the back so you can plug in additional drives in eSATA, for example. You've got all the screws that you would need, and this is very interesting. You know, having this additional bracket for the back gives you more flexibility to piggybacking things on the outside of your PC, external drives, for example, and peripherals. So great overall package from MSI again on this GD85 board. Definitely recommend it if you're looking for some hardcore overclocking. And I'd like to thank MSI for providing it, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.